Hello again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Orange
It is that time, your favorite time of the week. We're not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews and your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. Rock, Lindsay, Sutton, and Judy. We are the IOI Broncos country.
Orange Weekly, fans, brews, and Broncos news. Broncos country, it is game day. We are here finally after getting through this last week. It is time to move on and focus on beating the Chargers. They are coming to town. We do have the inactive list. We have a big name on our side, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But post your comments, post your questions, and of course, post your score predictions. We're going to give ours at the end of the show. Glad you're all here today. We got Jason and Ayla here with us. How you guys doing?
Hey, guys.
Okay, so Jason, we'll start with you, man. Just what are your feelings going on into this game?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be a test to the character of this team, how they bounce back after a dismal game against the Chiefs. Obviously, Locke being one of those players looking to bounce back, but really I'm looking for the team to bounce back, right? Every component that was missing. Obviously, we're hoping for the defense to have another game like they did last week, but special teams, offensive-wise, should be a bounce back game, and we have a great opportunity against the Chargers, who have equally been struggling this year. So it's a great opportunity for the Broncos, and we'll see if they take advantage of it.
Yep. Ayla, what you got?
Absolutely. I totally agree. This is going to be our vengeance time. This is going to give us some confidence if we can win today, which I definitely think we can, and march it down. It's not like the Chargers are playing that great, and this would be, we get to play at home. The weather looks great. So if we can get this win for the division game, it can set us in the right direction for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing overall, right? Is where is this team going to go? And we talked about it throughout this week's podcast and shows and the pregame podcast is how is Drew Lock going to bounce back? Because since the end of the fourth quarter against the Patriots, we've seen some not so great plays. He went into last week, I would say, kind of freaked out to some degree, mentally, just we got to make something happen right off the bat. And that caused a lot of turnovers, a lot of short drives. Our defense held us into the game for the first three quarters. And then after that point, there's only so much they can do, right? So what are the Broncos and Drew Lock especially going to do to turn it around with our big name inactive Tim Patrick is inactive today. So what do you guys think about what are they doing?
Inactive from hamstring. I think it's fine. We did get Philip Lindsay's coming back. So I really think we should utilize our running game and kind of give Drew Lock, take some of the pressure off of him with those long bombs that he's trying to connect with. Make him run the ball. Let's get some first downs. Let's convert those third downs if we have to get there. Let's march down the field and then score touchdowns. It's necessary. It's time. I think it had to start falling in line sometime, and this is the perfect game to do it.
And Jason, Zach is asking how many sacks is the defense going to get? So, obviously we won a lot, but from what we've seen from Bradley Chubb, especially last couple games, what do you think about our pass rush going against some of these, I'd say big name players on the Charger side of the ball?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for our defense as well, right? They're heating up. We talked about how Chubb is seeming to be getting his confidence back. Reed's starting to get in there a bit. And the Chargers have a bit of a injured offensive line right now. I believe the starting guard is out. So, it's a great opportunity for them. I agree. I think the more pressure, especially on their quarterback Herbert, who is shown to be pretty promising quarterback for this Chargers team. There'll be a good chance to, see what this young quarterback is about. If we're able to rattle him, get in his face, and see if it throws him off his game, because right now he's got a lot of confidence going for him right now. So we're gonna have to try to get in there and disrupt his pattern and his rhythm.
Well, and I think that our defense is going to be different for him because he's kind of a long ball guy, and our pass defense is spot on right now. So, and then with Chubb, I'd say, for our defense in general, I think we're going to get at least 4 sacks, and that's going to rattle this kid. And then if he can't pass the ball either, the Chargers have been scoring points, but not against our defense. So I think it's going to be a different game for them overall, and a good test for us as well, as long as our defense can keep up. This kid's young. I don't think he's gotten to play a defense like ours yet, just by the points on the board that I've seen. So, let's take him down a notch. Let's just show him, you're still a rookie, bro. You haven't played the Broncos yet.
Yeah.
And welcome to Mile High.
Welcome to Mile High, right? Where the air is thin. Of course, it is beautiful out there today, unlike last week with the snow.
That was my bestie, Ashley, by the way. What up?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So you're right. They haven't faced a defense like ours. We're a top 5 defense in this league right now. I mean, look at what we did against Mahomes, Cam Newton. I mean, we held them to very low points, right? It was the turnovers that killed us. The Chiefs, I'm going to keep saying this because it's fantastic, had 0 third down conversions last week. 0 for 8 on third down conversions. That is with Patrick Mahomes at the helm, Travis Kelce, all these big name guys, and they could not convert a single one. And that says a lot about our defense. So I'm honestly not worried about our defense at all. I think what you guys are talking about is, can we get in Herbert's face early? Can we rattle him? Can we get some turnovers on our side early on and get that momentum going our way right off the bat? Of course, that means Drew Lock needs to play smart. Jerry Jeudy is going to have to step up. As huge of a asset Tim Patrick has been, we are going to miss him today, but I think you're going to have to find a way to get Jerry Jeudy open along with some of these other guys, right? So I don't know. I think there's a lot of things going for us. We just have to play a smart game is really what it comes down to.
Let's use Noah Fant too. Let's get that guy in the game and let him be the workhorse that he is. Because I think, when they start getting a little chemistry coming together, I think that's going to be a secret weapon that not a lot of people are looking at.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I agree with all that. I'm curious how healthy Fant and even Lock's shoulder is. I talked about a bit this past Monday. Obviously playing, but they're not 100%. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, Lock was originally supposed to miss 6 weeks. I think this would be about week 5 for him since his injury, including our unexpected bye week. Defense.
Even more reason for him to not, even more reason for him to just take it easy and rely on our running backs and tight ends.
Totally agree. I mean, he needs to simplify his game. He's trying too hard to make big plays happen. How many times last week did we see a perfect play call dialed up and there's an open receiver 10 yards in front of him and he tries for the 60-yard gain? So I think him, that mental aspect too, you just simplify your game, take it easy on your shoulder, take those easy games when you can. And you're right. I think Philip Lindsay's going to have a great game. Hopefully he stays healthy. But on the defense side of the ball, I think their biggest weakness right now is going to be themselves. They're their own Achilles heel. Our offense starts out slow again, and the frustrations mount for the defense. That's where we kind of saw our defense start to slip apart at the end of the last game. Yeah, it was turnovers and constant bad field position, but you have Shelby Harris taking unnecessary penalties. You have the defense just trying to make way too much happen instead of just playing defense. And so They got to have a little bit of grace with this offense, especially if it's a slow start. Don't get too frustrated. Just keep balling out, and things will hopefully start to fall in place after that.
Mm-hmm.
You know who won't give you some frustration?
Who, Kev?
Centennial State Insurance Agency. Whenever you have a insurance need, if you have them and make a claim, if you're shopping around for car insurance, they will help you out in any way possible. You will not be frustrated with them. They are honest. They are, just straight up trustworthy. When I was shopping around for car insurance not too long ago, they gave me the quote, and when we were comparing it to other companies, they just said, you know what, we're probably not the right ones for you right now. You have a dedicated insurance agent. So if something happens, God forbid, you can call them up. They're going to be the ones you talk to. You're not going to deal with sitting on hold for 30 minutes and hopefully somebody eventually answers and doesn't care. So these people know you, know your family, know your situation. So give them a call if you're looking for insurance, even if you're just shopping around, homeowners, car insurance, whatever it be. 303-838-0554. Cool. So where is it? Larry here, big game lock. He has some upside. He has to got to show some upside. And I think our offense in general, our whole team, looking on paper, is better than the Chargers. Easy, but like what you were saying, Jason, we can't beat ourselves. And I think, I really, really hope that if Drew Lock spent any amount of time looking at tape from this last week, which I know he did, but what he was focusing on was how he was missing those receivers 10, 15 yards down the field. What was he looking for? Why was he missing them? And he's got to integrate that into his gameplay this week. That should be involving Noah Fant some more. Yeah, use Jerry Jeudy as a decoy and yeah, definitely test him sometimes, but those long balls are not the one that you should be going for every single time. So I think that's what we got going for us. Hey, everyone, post your score predictions. We do have a contest that if the Broncos win, everybody who posts a score prediction will be entered to win that prize later on in the year. If you guess the correct score, of course, the Broncos have to win, then you will automatically win some awesome Broncos swag. So we are keeping track of who's putting in score predictions, and we'll get to ours here at the end of the game.
And of course, if you hit the nail on the head and get it, guys, give us the heads up. Shoot us a message. You can do it through our Facebook page. Come on over to Instagram. Give us a follow on there at Orange Weekly, because I'm going to be doing more prize giveaways. I already did one. So if y'all weren't part of it, you missed out. But you can get in for next time. And seriously, if you get this score, let us know, because sometimes we don't see it. We're human beings too. But hopefully if Broncos win today, we'll get a lot more entries. And I got some good prizes, y'all. Yep.
100%. And I'm excited to see somebody win some of that stuff. Justin, I hope Gordon doesn't turn the ball over.
His hangover should be gone by now. Yeah, so
there's no excuse.
And it's not, they're playing in good weather today, which helps.
Right. But look, Lindsey's back. He should be the main running back. There's no reason to put Gordon in there for any more than 30% of the snaps, right? Mostly just to give Lindsey a break. So I just can't trust him. I do not trust him to run the ball.
Or run a flea flicker.
That was at least they can run their game plan today, because we don't have the other element of weather bearing down on them. So whatever they have planned, they shouldn't have to make so much of a adjustments that they didn't do last week. So that I think will be a great thing. But it also means good weather for the Chargers too. So
it does, but another benefit favoring the Broncos is the Chargers secondary now is decimated with injuries and illnesses. They are without Chris Harris Jr., which we all know he went for the Chargers. And
darn! It would have been nice to see him there, right?
Later. But without Chris Harris Jr., without Derwin James, and now without Desmond King. So a secondary that's going to be pretty thin. All their depth is being used right now. So with that, Drew Lock could have a big game in the air, depending on how open our receivers can get. But we'll see. Again, we'll see if he tests the waters and we're able to take advantage of it, or if he tries too hard to take advantage of that.
I still think he should take it easy. I think that shoulder needs a rest. I think his head game needs a rest. Those small connections could give him the confidence that he so badly needs right now. Last week was pretty brutal, but then again, it was against the Chiefs too. So we can't you have to have a short memory with that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole thing, like you're saying, is that momentum. Get the first down, move the chains, eat up the clock, right? This isn't
give our defense a little bit of a break.
Exactly. This isn't the team and the Chiefs where we have to put up 35 plus points to beat them, right? And the next time we play the Chiefs later this year, I hope Drew Lock comes in with that mentality completely gone, right? That's just not what we need to do. And whatever he, again, move the chains, get the first down, same thing today. But build that confidence, show that, Noah Fan is back and he's ready to go. And test that secondary for sure. Really utilize the run game. I can't see how this offense would have too many issues today other than, fumbles from Melvin Gordon.
Let's use our defense. Like, defensive points are one of my favorite things in football, and it's totally possible for today. So I hope that happens.
Zach says revenge game for Gordon.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully. I mean, he's had a couple bad games though, and this is kind of what he's just done throughout his career. Doesn't mean you can't have a bounce back game and just, make something click on your new team. But look, if we're going to rely on him for, $15 million worth, I think is what it was, then show us why you deserve that money. Otherwise next year, obviously, you're gone.
Well, hopefully he didn't party too hard for Halloween. So
hopefully,
unlike some of us.
Hey, none of our players showed up in some random person's house in the middle of the night and got chased away with a vacuum tube.
Sorry, bro, wrong house.
So I'd say this was a very successful Halloween.
New Year, New Broncos.
Zach says biggest factor for him is not abandon the run game. Yeah, and I don't think we're going to be in the point where we're so far behind that we have to make those long passes. I think this is going to be a game we can very easily control on our side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, before Lindsey got injured last week, it was something stupid, like averaging 9 yards a carry. I mean, he was just
he was on it.
It was unreal. And unfortunately had that cheap hit. The Chiefs player was fined $20,000 for that hit. Why he wasn't flagged and ejected from the game, I'm not sure, because it was direct intentional helmet to helmet. But it's a different conversation for a different day, I suppose. But yeah, Lindsey's our go-to guy right now. I get it might be a revenge game for Gordon. So you know what? Take advantage of the few opportunities you get then. But don't expect Gordon to be our RB1 today. He has done everything in his power to dismantle himself from that position, both off the field and on the field. This is Lindsey's game, and I think he's going to get a ton of carries. And Gordon, sure, revenge game. Take advantage of the 5 carries you get then. But don't expect us to use them.
Right. Every time you get your opportunity, you better take it, because at this point, we're kind of looking at him like a little bit glad that he's there, but not the most glad.
There is one glaring issue that has me worried for not just today, but for the rest of the season.
What's that, Kevin?
Special teams.
Yeah.
So what do we do? I mean, if you're Mick Mahone or whatever his last name is, the special teams coach, and you're looking at how bad we've been, we're like 32nd in the league when it comes to special teams. What are you doing to try just to get some positive movement?
Like a distant 30s?
Oh God, yeah, I remember Matt saying that. It's like not even close. So, I mean, what do you do to get some positive momentum? Like, we're not going to jump up the stats there, but we've got to do something, right?
The one good thing about being that far last in the league is there's really nowhere to go but up at that point. So, I mean, you can really only get better at this point. Here's the thing, though.
Could you though?
I mean,
I hate saying that, because sometimes it's a trap door when you can't get any worse, and then so. Oh yeah.
I will say, though, again, it goes back to simplifying. I think when you look at that run back, the kick run back we allowed, I think it was an example of, again, too many guys trying to go above and beyond, trying to do too many things, right? That's where you're trying to get around blocks instead of through blocks, and that opens up doorways. Just keep it simple. Know your assignment, know your role, and just do your role and trust everyone else to do their role. You don't need to try to do 10 things at once in the special teams. Just do what you're supposed to do, and things at that point.
Go back to the fundamentals.
Yep. Yeah. I want to see us to get a touchdown return of some degree. I want us to get us some momentum, right? If I'm McManus,
that you're not terrible.
Right, exactly. Something, a 40-yard return, something. The only bright spot is McManus, who missed that point after attempt, right? So, and he's human. It happens, whatever. He is the reason. Well, I mean, he's the one who put up all 18 points against the Patriots the week before. I can't fault him for being human, but he's the only good part of special teams. So
yeah,
ouch.
There's not a lot to say except it has to be better, because it's not some element of football that can be this terrible and expect to have a team to go anywhere. So they need to do better. Go back to fundamentals. Get it done little by little. A return touchdown would be huge, but I don't even expect that. But, get us some good field position right off the bat, minimum.
Yeah. If there's a reason for me to be worried about losing any game for the rest of the season, it's going to be special teams. I could see them putting us in a position that is what kills us at the end of some of these games. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. But, yeah. What else you got, Jason?
And to that, I would say, I think the biggest issue is still our offense. I mean, we can't. How many games we're going to win scoring 9 points a game, scoring less than 20? I mean, I think it's next to the Jets in the past couple of years, we have the worst rated offense as far as points per game. That is something that has to be fixed. Doesn't matter how well your special teams does. Doesn't matter how well your defense does. If you're not getting touchdowns on the offense, you're going to have a hard time winning any game in this league. So I think our offense is, again, this is a great opportunity to start getting some momentum going, start getting some confidence going.
This is the perfect game to capitalize on that. Because there's been so many almost over the last 2 games that just didn't happen. The last game was the only one that really got blown out of the water. So
that was second half.
Yeah. We kind of held our own a little bit, but this is the perfect opportunity. A division win would be huge, especially against the Chargers. I think it can happen. I mean, it's going to have to start happening. We have enough talent. The gelling needs to come together. This is going to be one more game under their belt to build that harmony that they need and the team camaraderie. So, hopefully defense can do what they have been doing, and then our offense and hopefully special teams can both do a little bit better.
So, Rock, Tim Patrick is the one that is out this week. He's the one with the hamstring issue, and hopefully we'll see him back before too long. But that's the only real key injury we have on both sides of the ball. So that's helping us out a lot. Zach asks, is Schirmer our OC? If we lose, will we move on? The question remains, look, let's get through this game and see what happens, right? But I'm of the mindset that nobody's going anywhere for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't see why, they'd start getting rid of people right now.
Yep. So we're going to start giving our own score predictions here in a second, but want to remind everyone that we will be live during halftime. Every game we are live at halftime for our halftime hash. I will be joining you all today. So as soon as halftime starts, go to Facebook, open up that link, or Twitter, whichever one you use, and let's talk about the first half. I want to hear your thoughts, your reactions. I don't want to listen to the guys on TV talk about the halftime report. I'd rather interact with all of you. So hope to see you there at the halftime hash. We also got our post-game podcast, our pre-game podcast. If you haven't done so already, there's a little bit of time left for you to go listen to Ragers. If you want to hear about the sports betting lines that Ray is taking this week, he does those every Saturday when the betting lines comes out and teaches you why, the sports betting techniques and methods that he uses. And he's actually doing pretty well in the season. So he'll explain to you other than just, hey, I'm taking this bet, But yeah, Monday night, Orange Weekly After Dark. We are actually going to do Bourbon Broncos No BS tomorrow night on Monday instead of Tuesday night. So join us there for that. But we got a ton of content for you guys, and we're here with you throughout the season and during postseason as well. So, Jason, actually, I'm going to go first. Broncos defense is going to hold the Chargers offense to basically nil. They're going to have to rely on their own kicker to get some points. Meanwhile, the Broncos offense is going to be able to move the ball. Philip Lindsay is going to get a couple touchdowns. I think Drew Lock's going to pass for one, to include a Jerry Jeudy. I'm going to go ahead and throw up my score prediction here. Broncos 24-13. Jason, what you got?
I think, the Chargers have a habit of really quick, great starts and then petering out. Broncos have a bit of a history right now of some slow starts. So I think it's going to be a comeback fashion as Chargers typically allow. I want to say it's going to be a nail biter, though. Two divisional rivals that are both struggling this year. They're going to be throwing everything they have at each other. So I'm going Broncos 27, Chargers 24.
27-24. Okay. Ayla, what you got?
I think Broncos are finally going to drop some of their own. I think we're going to get some of the touchdowns that we so badly needed. But I don't think it's going to. I think our defense is really going to do a good job, and I don't know if Bustin Sherbert, whatever the kid's name is, going to do that great today, considering where he is and who he's playing against. So I'm going with 27 points for the Broncos as well, but I'm going to drop down those Chargers. I think they're only going to score 17.
Sounds fantastic. Of course, we all have the Broncos pick, and I think this week it's very, very reasonable to do so. Jason's saying it's going to be that nail biter. Ayla and I think that the defense is going to hold their own once again and keep Herbert to pretty much nothing for the majority of the game. So we'll see if that's correct. Any last thoughts around the horn before we get going and ready to start this game here in about 20 minutes? Jason.
Winning is the remedy for everything. We get a win. Life is better for at least a week.
At least a week. Ayla.
Division game at home against one of our favorite teams that we love to beat. I totally agree. Winning is going to be key to our momentum that we're going to need to build on for the rest of the season. And I totally believe it's doable today.
Zach thinks it's going to come down to a field goal today. I'd like this to not be a nail biter. I want to see our defense come out with that energy and frustration they had last week and really stick it to the Chargers offense. Either way, if it comes down to a field goal and McManus is the one trying to make that attempt, I'm going to feel pretty damn good about it. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining. This has been the pregame huddle here at Orange Weekly. I will be back here with you at halftime for the halftime hash as we start breaking that down. Jason and Ayla, thanks for joining me. And I guess there's nothing else to say other than
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Woo!
Do what I like, yeah, do what I like, yeah, do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know